let's be real for a second. If you're a new parent, you're probably running on fumes, completely overwhelmed, and just trying to figure out this whole new world of feeding schedules. And right in the middle of all that wonderful, exhausting chaos, you suddenly realize you need a formal, federal government ID for a tiny human who literally can't even hold up their own head yet. I mean, navigating bureaucracy is daunting enough without a newborn strapped to your chest, right? But hey, don't worry. Today, we're going to completely demystify this whole process and break down exactly how you get a United States passport for your baby.
So, welcome to this explainer on securing a U.S. passport for your newborn. Believe it or not, this is an incredibly achievable quest. By the time we wrap up here, you are going to have a crystal clear roadmap. We're taking all those dry official guidelines from the U.S. Department of State and turning them into a simple, totally actionable strategy. Seriously, if you can handle a 3 a.m. blowout, you can absolutely handle this application process.
Okay, let's dive into this. To save your sanity, we've grouped a pretty daunting 10-step process into 4 super manageable phases. Phase 1, gathering your essential documents. Phase 2, conquering the newborn photo. Phase 3, the in-person facility visit. And finally, Phase 4, fees, processing, and validity.
All right, let's kick things off with Phase 1, gathering your essential documents, or as I like to call it, the paperwork artifacts. Before you even think about leaving the house, you're going to need paperwork to prove 2 big things: your baby's U.S. citizenship and your parental relationship. Here's exactly what you need to gather up. The absolute anchor document here is the baby's birth certificate. For a baby born in the U.S., this one single document establishes their citizenship, their date of birth, and their relationship to you. It's the whole shebang. Now, if your child was born outside the U.S., you'll need something like a consular report of birth abroad, or a CRBA. Next up is Form DS-11. That's the official application for a U.S. passport. You're also going to need both parents' original government-issued photo IDs, plus photocopies of the front and back of each of those IDs. And finally, you need evidence of your parental relationship to the baby, which honestly is usually just that birth certificate again. Okay, stop right here. Do not sign Form DS-11. I'm completely changing my tone right now because this is, without a doubt, the single biggest gotcha of the entire paperwork phase. It is totally human nature to fill out a form and then immediately just sign your name at the bottom, right? But if you do that here, you will literally ruin your application before you even walk out the door.
So, the crucial point is that this specific application requires a witness signature. You absolutely must leave that signature line completely blank while you're filling it out at home. You just have to wait for your in-person appointment. You will only put pen to paper and sign that document when the official passport acceptance agent looks you in the eye and directly instructs you to do it. Seriously, put a giant sticky note on the form if you have to.
Moving right along to Phase 2, conquering the newborn photo. This is your tactical mission.
Getting a squirming infant to pose for a highly regulated government photo borders on the absurd, right? But here is a clear, tactical checklist to actually make it happen. Step 1. You need a plain white or off-white background. You can place a sheet down on the floor or, and this is a fantastic pro tip straight from the State Department, drape that sheet over a car seat and photograph the baby while they're supported safely in there. Step 2. Lay the baby down. Step 3 is absolutely critical. You must clear all shadows from the baby's face. In government photos, lighting is literally everything. And Step 4. Ensure the baby's face is fully visible and facing the camera. Now, here's the golden rule, folks. No parent or anyone else can appear in the photograph. You absolutely cannot hold the baby in your arms. Not even a stray finger supporting their chin can be in that frame.
Now, what's really interesting here is a wonderful little allowance directly from the official guidelines. They explicitly say it is okay if a baby's eyes are not completely open. The government actually acknowledges you're photographing a newborn, while adults will get their applications instantly rejected if their eyes are closed. This is a very rare bit of bureaucratic leeway specifically granted just for infants. So you can take a deep breath. If they're a little sleepy, the photo can actually still be perfectly valid.
All right, on to Phase 3, the in-person facility visit. Time to brave the authorized facility for the family field trip.
There's a really simple equation for this visit. Baby plus both parents equals passport success. Even though your baby might only be a few days old or weeks old, they generally must appear in person. A newborn is treated as a child under 16, so this is officially a child passport application. The baby has to physically be there, and generally, both parents or legal guardians need to appear right alongside them to provide official in-person consent. But, life happens. Sometimes both parents absolutely cannot make it to the facility at the exact same time. If only one parent can appear, you've got to have a backup plan, which just means bringing some additional documentation. The most common solution is Form DS-3053. That's a statement of consent. The appearing parent has to bring this form, and it must contain the notarized consent from the absent parent along with a photocopy of that absent parent's ID. And if your situation is a bit more complex, like maybe the other parent is unavailable, deceased, or one parent has sole legal authority, well, there are different options and special rules that apply. You'll just need to provide the specific legal documents that prove those exact circumstances.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what you need when you're packing your diaper bag for the facility. Think of your documents in two categories: what you show and what they keep. You must show the acceptance agent all your original documents. That means the baby's birth certificate or CRBA, your government-issued IDs, the completed but strictly unsigned Form DS-11, and the newborn photo. But you also must hand over photocopies for them to actually keep and process. So that means bringing a photocopy of the baby's citizenship evidence and photocopies of both the front and back of the parents' IDs. The agent verifies the originals, but they take the copies.
Finally, we've reached Phase 4, fees, processing, and validity, the final stretch.
Okay, you're standing at the counter, the paperwork is approved, and now it's time to talk costs. The undeniable grand total for a basic child passport book is exactly $135. Because the baby is under 16, the fees are a bit different from adult fees. This total breaks down into a $100 application fee for the passport book itself, plus a $35 acceptance fee. Now keep in mind, if you're in a total rush and need expedited processing, that will absolutely cost extra. But for a standard passport book, expect to pay exactly $135.
Let's move to and see how this builds into what you're actually getting today, because there is a major difference between a child passport and an adult passport. An adult passport is valid for 10 years, and it comes with an easy mail-in renewal process. But a baby's passport, that's generally valid for only 5 years. And here's the real kicker: it cannot be simply renewed. When your child needs another passport 5 years from now, you can't just mail the old one in. You literally have to submit a completely new application from scratch.
Once you hand over your payment, the application goes off to the U.S. Department of State for processing. Your baby doesn't have to wait until a certain age to get a passport. The moment you have those documents, you can apply. But here's a critical piece of advice: apply early. Processing takes real time. And because newborns change incredibly quickly, a 2-week-old looks vastly different from a 4-month-old, our absolute best advice is to get ahead of it and apply well before you've got any international travel locked in.
And there you have it. You have successfully navigated the bureaucracy, the paperwork is done, the photos are taken, and those fees are paid. Your passport is officially in the mail. Now we finally get to pivot away from all that red tape and look forward to the ultimate payoff. The world is officially open to your child. So I'm going to leave you with this exciting thought to ponder during your next late-night feeding. Where will your tiny citizen's very first passport stamp be from? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. You've got this, parents. Safe travels.